세러데이 쇼다운 T1 대 하나생명 e스포츠.
I'm not exactly super excited about the Ornn. I feel like Rascal has been used the best when he has control of a lane. And you just, yeah, you survive, but you don't win. On paper doesn't necessarily tell the whole story, especially when KT DRX involved. Let's do it. Let's jump into the Rift. Onto the Rift for game number 1, KT versus DRX. And yes,
decides now that he has the vision, he's just going to go bottom side.
Yep, just utilizing the information that he's gathered as Yahoo taking a lot of damage here from BDD on his Azir. And this is actually really smart. It's Pureshik going to find Sponge here, and it's his clever little pathing that's allowed this to happen. Finds the permafrost onto the Zyra, and without her plants, what's she going to do? Yahoo also getting solo killed in the mid lane at the same time. The flash from Sponge, Yahoo flashing in as well, but BDD gets out of there, and there's first blood for Pureshik. It's crazy all over the map, but KT coming out on top.
KT winning. And you can see the pathing here pretty intelligent. Meanwhile,
yeah, Zenith Blade does come on down there as Teddy's going in. Barrel's in a lot of trouble, but he puts down the equalizer, or the Hui version of the equalizer anyway. It was like the best matchup for Tank Azir that there possibly was. As Yahoo gets on in there, uses all of his buttons in order to...
He also recently...
Yeah, as Deft is possibly in trouble, but... not going to quite find too much here as Teddy getting taken down to 100.
For KT rolls, so that Sponge is starting this off at this timing, but isn't able to rush them very quickly. Still should be a trade. DRX should be able to secure these, but man, the Ezreal losing all this farm in a tough matchup already with the Hui Kalista. He's now down 20 CS.
So it hurt.
Sponge has 6.
All right, let's see whether they can find something here. Ulti does come through, but Yahoo instead just picks up a turret shot, and not a whole lot is actually going to happen. BDD was looking to try and turn it there as the grasping roots come down. Pureshik also throwing an ulti away.
Yeah.
I think Zeka even recently had a pretty forgettable laning phase and then won POG. So, I look, there's time.
I feel like his career was built on it.
Yeah, do come down. Boomerang's flying out, though. Let's see what actually happens as Pleta doesn't find the Zenith Blade. Yahoo looking for an opportunity onto BDD, who is still very, very tanky. They're just going for a bit of a 1v1, but he makes it back to his teammates. That Glacial Prison, yeah. I don't think was ever... I like it. All right. Beryl just going to find an ulti onto Pleta for fun. That's pretty cool. All right. And KT just going to let that one go.
+1 World Atlas stack.
Indeed. There we go.
Not even sure if that actually did count as one. After the changes to stop lane swaps, they're not even going to teleport Perfect back to lane. He's just going to walk because he's like, yeah, maybe you guys get a split plate here. Don't really care. Not too worried. And they're even now baiting this as Azir less resistances.
Yep. Only a few seconds until that one is going to change as well as Rascal coming on over. We're not going to find the Arctic Assault, though, and now Pureshik could be in trouble. Has Frost Armor, though, as Yahoo just going to ult his way out of there. And that means that they won't have that tool soon, as Perfect still likely to get dove, as there is a teleport coming in. Pleta tanks up this turret for an extraordinarily long time. Is Perfect. He hits Meganar, but then he gets hit by a ram. And so he will be
turrets, as you mentioned, but I mean, look at what BDD is getting done here in mid. Doesn't even have Nashor's Tooth. He's just ripping this to shreds, though, and with only 2 grubs, because he's got Barrel and Pureshik's help here, and down goes the turret. So it's 2 turrets for 1. DRX really don't get a whole lot. He does not have flash from that prior play, nor his Narbar, so it's a good timing to punish.
Yep, Sponge going to come on down. Does land one of them. Stranglethorns to come on through, but the hop is pretty strong. Almost gets out, but he's not able to. Perfect just going to get chopped up and destroyed. Rascal getting the same treatment here towards the top side, but it looks like he will be able to make it out. Bellow's Breath to help him there. Understandably so.
Yeah, and this is going to be one more charge on the Herald as well.
Yeah. And it looked like, you know, like DRX went for the play, Perfect died, but there's still bounties up, right? It's still like
full health turret to get, okay, we got this, you got a turret top side, but we get a turret. They lose a turret, they get an extra charges. Now they're going to try to punish BDD.
All right, let's see whether they can get it here as the Zenith Blade doesn't quite work. Zigan and Zagan finds the Emperor's Divide, and that's why he's the coat of...
They're a little bit sloppy with the setup, could be a problem.
All right, BDD finds the ulti here. Yahoo going for that 1v1. He goes into melee range of a Yone, and he's got backup. Top laner going to be coming in. Perfect comes down.
Doesn't mean that 2-item spike for an Ornn means a little bit less in team fight.
Yeah. Well, Pleta is going to take a lot of damage from the Baron. Does split up KT here with the Solar Flare. Finds the Zenith Blade. There is the Fate's Call, though, to come down. As Deft is going to have to pick up Beryl. He was taking a
Game state.
Yeah, this is the problem, is that Yahoo is pretty far behind. Baron going to get started up though, Pleta, understanding that this is likely happening. They're going to throw some vision in, 50% health on the Baron. KT not wanting to flip, and they're just going to get out of there instantly, testing the waters. Make sure that they figure out exactly what's going on, as there's the Glacial Prison. Finally, Purshik going to find one. This time it's onto Rascal though, so just doesn't do a whole lot.
Perfect to have a fight where he doesn't have that, as Barrel's in trouble.
Yeah, he's going to get grasped, and Fate's Call. And Deft is going to be able to save him. He just does not have a lot of health. Like, Beryl has basically no health at all.
Yeah, he's
He didn't even press the heal button. That's how much he knew Deft was going to save him. As Sponge also down to about 50%. BDD going to flap his wings, hop over the wall, flashes out of the way of the Solar Flare. Yahoo just going to have to try and get out of there. DRX still fighting. Arctic Assault comes in. Pleta with the Eclipse is pretty tanky. Doesn't have that one now though, and they will back away. KT looking a bit worse for wear as far as these health bars. They're going to have to be careful, as Rascal looks for a knockup, gets it onto Pyoshik that he didn't even know was there. And now Sponge is just going to explode. Couldn't even press the Stranglethorns button, and he's just dead. Yahoo also going to get feared there by Beryl, carries his ultimate back as well. And the Azir is starting to pick up the kills. Deft also dancing forward, celebrating his 1000th game with a kill on his opposite number. And now Yahoo is just running for the hills. Pyoshik going to get stabbed a little bit, but I think that this one's pretty inevitable, especially with the known location that he has to go back to there. BDD doesn't even allow that to happen. And KT, they should be able to head towards this Baron, take this down, and start really doing some damage to the base. On the Elder Drake as well. That one's going to be up extraordinarily soon. KT, we're going to try and break open this bottom inhibitor turret first. And that is just going to go down. BDD does so much damage to these structures, and Perfect being so annoying here in this mid lane. Teddy now trying to take matters into his own hands, as there is True Shot Barrage to come out. Doesn't land onto Beryl though, as the Glacial Prison's picked up by Teddy, and BDD is going to collect him as well. Thrown over the wall, and into the back line they go. Yahoo does manage to get the kill onto the Azir, but Rascal's also going to go down. Deft doing so much damage here after that double kill.
They'd have to cross over so much vision of this comp for KT to get to the Elder in the first place.
The Baron has dissipated, so the minions are killable. We'll see whether they can get on top of those. The Glacial Prison is going to connect. They layer it with Beryl's ulti as well, as BDD is going down very, very low. Flashes out of there though, and Pleta is going to get eaten by the dragon. Now Yahoo is also going to be in trouble. Perfect dives on top of him. He is going to go down for it though, and it's messy on the KT side. But now they're focusing on these turrets. They've still got Deft alive. BDD also there trying to get that health bar back up again. They are utilizing this Chemtech Soul, you know, keeping their health bars as low as possible. And I think that it might just be enough here, as Deft bouncing around the battlefield, wanting to take down this turret. And there goes Teddy. The dragon comes down. It's Beryl that locks up the kill. Remember, Deft still has his GA available. It's a double kill here for Beryl, who's just taking them all from Mr. 1000 Games. And there is the fear on top of Rascal. He's going to get eaten. Oh, this one is actually going to go to Deft. 407 on his Callista, looking absolutely fantastic in this game. We'll see whether they can do it again for game number 2, but right now this one's all about KT, and they will end it right here. Congratulations to Deft, gets a win. Game 1000. Faker kind of did take that away from him over the last couple of years, but we know that this guy was synonymous with this champion for so incredibly long on his time with Gen G.
A little bit more open.
Yeah, this is interesting because, of course, it doesn't feel great playing the Cassante into the Gnar, but they felt like they wanted to have a bit of extra frontline for these double 80 carries. DRX have just kind of said, well, if you beat us with it, we can beat you with it, as they take their composition. See how it works as we jump onto the Rift. And Yahoo has also gone this time for the fleet footwork, so not going to be grasping.
The funny thing about that interaction for BDD is he knows that if he puts both Sand Soldiers there to prevent him from coming in, then when they fade, he only has one, so he just outtrades.
Has had some of the greatest performances on Ezreal that we've seen over the last, many years of him playing it, as he's just going to E over. Teddy taking so much damage here. Pleta getting a lot of value out of that Shattering Strike, but he needed to. Teddy going to be sent home here at 2.5 minutes in the game.
Yeah. May have, nope, okay, Pyoshik's not going to go check it out. I was going to say may have his back stopped by a little sapling action, but Pyoshik instead going to delay check and then look for the sapling.
Yeah. gives a little thumbs up here.
I knew you were there.
Yeah, exactly. I like how he sort of knew he was on camera as well.
He's like, well, now they die bottom. He's like, thumbs up, they're not here. Go for it, Beryl.
Perfect. All right, let's see whether this dive is actually going to work. As Zenith Blade connects onto Teddy, he cleanses, but a little bit late here as he flashes the Mystic Shot. Pleta also trying to get out of there. There are minions still here. KT can go for this again as DRX still managing to keep themselves somewhat alive, but there's first blood. It goes over to Deft, and he grabs a second as well. It's a 2-for-1. And KT off to a pretty good start. And Sponge wanting to try and punish here. Perfect is just not having a great time, is he? As the screw is going to be thrown the wrong direction, and Perfect able to flash as the Permafrost comes in. I don't think it's going to save him. He did about as... Oh, actually, okay, Perfect. Finally, Rascal's going to be able to pick it up and doesn't die to the turret in this game, so not end of the world or anything like that.
Oh, certainly true.
And Yehu now going to take a little bit of damage here as Solar Flare comes in as well. And man, that was timed very well. Looked like Solar Flare did half of his health bar as the explosive charge goes off. Still, he's going to be fine. He's going to be able to clear out this wave, just putting on as much pressure as they can. And it is very even as far as farm is concerned, but BDD, well, it's going to be a little bit of a collapse as Yehu is dealing with minions at the moment. KT will be able to take down the Rift Scuttler, so they do have a bit of extra vision.
Rascal, no TP.
Yeah, True Shot Barrage is going to stop the back from Yehu, so he's not going to be teleporting in with that full health anytime soon. As Pleta comes down, all right, Beryl goes aggressive. Glacial Prison connects onto the Leona, and the Dragon is going to be taken here by KT. Killer Instinct, though, and Beryl is going to be taken down. Deft is in trouble. Permafrost and all the plasma stacked up. He's trying to stand his ground, but he will be taken out. And Teddy is now on a killing spree.
And
that's fine. I like the Killer Instinct, you know?
In an ideal world, in the greed that KT was looking for, they win the fight and get the Dragon and then get the grubs.
Beryl is just walking at Rascal, and Pyosik, he's making his way in. That is going to be the kill. Deft is just going to pick right back up from where he left off, grabs the double kill, and KT are going to look for some plates. This is now starting to look a whole lot different.
Yeah.
Unless Deft is able to just kill Teddy here, lands the W really nicely. Really wants to hit another one. There's the Mystic Shot. True Shot Barrage, and the flash from Teddy has to be invested of just what they're capable of when it does work out. As that was very, very... Yeah, okay, Perfect just stole it. Just walked in, highway robbery, steals away a blue buff. Does just mitigate all of the CC, though. Just does those Cassante things and is just going to be A-OK. Slowed down by the sapling, though, as there's a flash in from Goshi. He finds the Bramble Smash. The ulti's so good, and Perfect is able to get in there as well. Deft free hitting from the back as BDD on a wild goose chase. Yehu with a decent ulti here as well, as Teddy's able to take down the Tristana. It cost him his entire health bar, and he's not going to be there to defend his young jungler, and it's Perfect that takes him down. Oh, the Void Seeker. Beryl is very close to just dead. Is so much in KT's favor, even if the gold is saying that things are even, as Glacial Prison going to connect onto Pyosik. And Pyosik very happy about that because he's a tank, as Pleta just explodes, has to get himself out of there with the help of BDD's Buster Shot.
Right now, it's just feels like he's doing it for a little bit of fun. His Sponge is very low.
That's not fun. Sponge taking a lot of damage. Hits that Mystic Shot as well. The red buff is ticking down. Oh, God. 22 health. All right.
That's about to get his ult.
Deft didn't miss anything.
Does he go for it?
Does make a bit of sense. They have a fair bit of vision available as now Sponge with that explosive charge. Remember, Tristana can get junglers out of the pit as there's a Magnet Storm to come in. Nature's Grasp already down here as Pyosik in amongst it, flashes out instantly. And BDD, oh, the Killer Instinct, and he takes down the jungler. It's massive here, but can they win the fight? That's going to be the question. The all-out is so good from Perfect. The Emperor's Divide not going to do anything, and BDD is just playing Mario. Pleta's going to go down as well, and yeah, they may have lost their smite, but it doesn't matter if there's no one alive on the enemy team. Perfect down as well. Pyosik in the area. Let's see what they can actually get done as Deft is over the wall. They look for the angle. True Shot Barrage connects. Teddy takes a lot of damage. Perfect is already dead. And Nature's Grasp now going to come out. Let's see whether they can actually do it against the flow of time. It is going to be the Dragon going over to DRX, but they're going to lose all of their health bars. Deft is continuing to never miss an ability. And that is everyone cleaned up. It's going to be another full house here. We've had so many of them this week.
We just have so many with the 80 carries. Watch this game. Watch what happens. And I mean, they had great setup for him. They got him massively ahead with Pioshik and Barrel early.
And also, I mean, we have to remember that this is DRX versus KT, but this is a Harlem Globetrotters performance. Yehu just going to get sniped by Deft, who's happy to tank the turret. Not necessarily sure whether that is the case, but he's got a Bloodthirster. He'll be fine. Rascal is just trying to trade for anything that they can get. Some bounty gold now going into their coffers, but KT, they're going to claim those coffers, I think, as they're just breaking into their house. That is going to be the Dragons Unleashed, thanks to Juhan's skin that Pioshik is utilizing.
Is Kite back and take it? They've got full control of these choke points, and Deft's level 16.
Well, Beryl is just going to try and stop Spun from getting on over here. As there's the Solar Flare, the True Shot Barrage over the top as well. The Emperor's Divide doesn't do nearly enough to try and save them. And look at this, right from the back line, you've got Deft and BDD just chunking them down. Too late is Rascal to this fight as BDD sacrifices himself to make sure that he can grab that kill. That's the first Mystic Shot I've seen miss in quite some time, and Deft is going to make up for it in the end.
Insane dominant performance by KT Rolster, start to finish. This is the true 2-0, clean 2-0, nothing to see here.
Yeah, we're actually, there wasn't really a whole lot of much, unfortunately, for DRX. They're going to lose their Nexus here. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So BDD wanted another movie ticket, so they wanted to do like the best ceremony award. As Deft did a lot of damage.
2024 LCK 서머 1라운드 마지막 매치 DRX와
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason for the POG interview translation, joined by the POGs on the side of KT Rolster, BDD, and Deft. Congratulations!
BDD 선수 1라운드 마지막 경기 승리로
BDD,
장식하셨는데요. 소감
what a
들어보고
fantastic
싶습니다.
way to wrap up the first round robin. How do you feel? I'm happy that our team is ramping up as time goes by. You know, it's a very positive thing. So I'm glad that we managed to find our way together and improve. And Deft, congratulations on your 1000th domestic games combining LCK and LPL. How do you feel? I mean, anyone can catch up, but still, I'm pretty much one of the oldest players in the league, so I managed to hit this record. But in the future, there will be a lot of players who will also accomplish this record. BDD, anything you want to say to him? I mean, Deft is the captain of KT Rolster. He has been leading our team fantastically, so I hope he can continue his professional career as long as possible. Deft, game number 1, the last pick on KT Rolster was actually Hui. That was a B5 on the side of KT Rolster, and you guys had a lot of options of conventional support picks. Tell us more about that decision. I mean, Bro definitely prefers Hui support a lot, and also he goes really well with Kalista together as well. And then we also had Yone Azir matchup on the mid lane, which Yone slightly has an edge over Azir, but you managed to have the priority in the early game. So tell us about the grass build into Yone. A lot of people goes with footwork, and then yesterday in the Gen G series, Chovy played grass Azir. I kind of forgot about that build, and then Chovy brought back the memory of grass Azir. And later in the game, he can actually kind of have a really good tank ability into Yone. So I think grasp is pretty good. Could you also break it down in more details? I mean, the items were more about, having a decent amount of damage, but also having a little bit of a sustainability. And your Azir is a textbook of every other mid laners, and even Faker mentioned that he watches your gameplay. What does that, make it feel? It feels amazing, obviously, I'm flattered. Well, this time around, I guess you watched Chovy play Azir, getting the inspiration of his, rune choices. Is there anyone else you also watch? I mean, pretty much all the LCK mid laners because, you know, their performance is always, you know, they always have something to learn from. So I just try to catch up with all the other mid laners. And then Deft. I want to know your thoughts on Ezreal right now. Is this a top of the tier list champion right now? Well, I think as long as you can, you know, play around his strength, you know, having a lot of damage in the laning phase early on. BDD, thoughts on that? Yeah, similar thoughts, you know. I think his laning phase is pretty strong, and then he's also very, very powerful in the late game. So right now, he has no weakness. So let's take a look at this replay together. Early on, it seemed a little bit dicey. How did you see this angle? Well, we started off this fight by having our Kusante dying in the beginning, but still we had a lot of damage and also sustainability. So I was like, as long as I don't die, it would be no problem. How did it go? What kind of communications were happening? After that, we were like, mid laner go bot and like, let's just take turrets and some of the basic shot calls of macro.
느낌일 줄 알았는데 미드가 바텀과 이런 이야기를 나누셨군요. 좋습니다. 데프트 선수 앞서도 살짝 말씀드렸지만 이제 LCK LPL 통산
You mentioned it earlier, but you managed to play your thousandth domestic game, combining both LCK and LPL. What a long career! How do you look back at it?
네, 뭐 좋은 기억들만 많은 것 같고 또
I have a lot of amazing memories.
거뒀던 뭐 성적들이나 이런 것보다는
Also,
되게
looking back at it now,
제가 많은
first thing that comes to mind is the faces of my old teammates. You know, I don't think all the records or titles, accomplishments matters more than them. You know, thanks to them, I was able to have an amazing time here at the LCK and also over at LPL.
뭐 언제까지 할지는 모르겠지만
Anything you would like to say to your fans as well? I'm not sure how long my career will last, you know, a lot of circumstances to consider, but still, I will also do my best in order to kind of stay as long as possible as a professional player. And KT Roaster, after a little bit of a rough beginning, you guys managed to start off a very long winning streak. What is your resolution for the second round? I really wish we can come back with even stronger performance and get our revenge on the teams that we lost to in the first round robin. And that's the end of the interview with BDD Def, and back to the space. Thank you.